Because of the difference in time zones between Italy and Wayland, photos and videos of Pope Francis celebrating the evening Mass of the Lord's Supper were online this afternoon. He celebrated this Mass not at St. Peter's in the Vatican, but at Casal di Marmo, a prison on the outskirts of Rome. I watched the video and saw the inmates smile and weep as Francis knelt down to wash and kiss their feet. 12 men and women, one of them a Muslim. And as I watched, I wondered, what might my response be if the Pope were washing my feet? And as soon as I asked the question of myself, it came to my heart the truth that somebody greater than the Pope is waiting to wash my feet. And that someone is Jesus. Jesus is waiting to wash my feet. And Jesus is waiting to wash your feet. Waiting to wash our feet at the end of a long day's work, at home, at the office, at school, in the factory or plant, on the road. He's waiting to wash my feet, even if they haven't moved much all day long, because they throb with pain from arthritis, stiffness, rheumatism, or because the sticks I call my legs just don't move as well as they used to. Jesus is waiting to wash my feet and yours, no matter how bad they smell or how ugly they are, regardless of aging toenails or corns or bunions. None of that matters to Jesus. He waits to wash my feet simply because they're my feet. And he loves them as he loves the rest of me too. And he waits to wash your feet because they're your feet. And he loves you, all of you, from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. He waits to wash away whatever has stained our hearts. He waits to wash away our sins, especially the ones that most seriously embarrass and shame us. He waits to wash away the fears and anxieties we carry by the bushel on our backs until we're bent over with worry's weight, slowing the steps our feet want to take. Jesus waits to wash away the bad dreams that haunt my sleep and the desires that derail me as my feet try to make their way towards God. Jesus waits to wash away the fear and the prejudice that keep me from loving and washing the feet of others who aren't just like me. And no, not just my feet. Jesus waits to wash my hands of the selfishness and greed that lead me to treat others unfairly, unjustly, and dishonestly. He waits to wash my hands of their violence, of any harm they've done. He waits to pry open and wash the clenched fist that waits to hurt another. Jesus waits to wash away whatever comes between him and me, whatever comes between my neighbor and me, whatever comes between me and the person God created and calls me to be. Too often, we're just like Peter in the gospel tonight. We have 100 reasons and more excuses to keep Jesus at arm's length, to tuck our feet under the chair, to pull up our socks and tie our shoes tightly, to hide from Jesus, to keep from his reach, to keep from his reach precisely what most needs to be washed by him. What did Jesus say to Peter when Peter did this? He said, if you don't let me wash you, you have no share in what I have to give you. If we don't allow Jesus to wash us, to cleanse us, to bathe us in his mercy, then we have no share in what he offers us. For only his cleansing, healing, merciful touch can make us ready for the grace he brings us. Will we dare, upon hearing Jesus' words tonight, will we dare, like Peter, to say, then wash me, Lord, wash me all over. Wash me from the top of my head to the tips of my toes. And if we dare do that, that's only step number one. For you see, Jesus wants to wash our feet, to wash our hearts, our hands, our minds, to wash us all over, inside and out, so that we might learn how we are to wash one another's feet and to welcome the neighbor who comes to wash our feet. When Jesus washes my feet and yours, he invites me, he invites you, he invites all of us to share in a life of mutual service that excludes no one and welcomes all. This is not about random acts of kindness. This is about building and sharing an intentional community of mutual service. As you know, in the gospel we heard tonight, John's account of the Last Supper says not a word about bread and wine, but rather focuses entirely on Jesus washing tired, dirty, smelly feet. Now, in other portions of his gospel, John speaks at length, and beautifully so, of the gift of Jesus that is ours in eating his flesh and drinking his blood in the Eucharist. But in telling the story of the meal in the upper room, the story of the Last Supper and the institution of the Eucharist, John is content to let the washing of feet stand as the sign, the gift, the command Jesus gives us to love one another, to serve one another, to break ourselves open like bread, to pour ourselves out like wine for one another, as he has loved and served us. Tonight, everyone here will be invited to come forward to have their feet washed and to wash someone else's feet. Some of us will, and some of us will not. The choice is up to each one here. And my homily has not been an effort to guilt all of you into coming forward to having your feet washed. Not at all. What I am preaching tonight is that all of us, without exception, must ponder and take seriously the desire of Jesus to wash our feet, mine and yours, and his command that we find ways to wash the feet of others. Not just on Holy Thursday night, but on every day of our lives. And let's not miss the significance of the fact that Jesus washed the feet of the people who were closest to him, the ones who were with him day in and day out. Like charity, the washing of feet begins at home. After the washing of feet tonight, we will go to the Lord's table to remember, to celebrate, and to receive the sacrifice of Jesus in the Eucharist. May his body and blood nourish us, wash us, cleanse us inside and out, from the tops of our heads to the tips of our toes.
Let me be as Christ to you. Pray that I may have the grace to let you Christ.